been here for 30 years, and I've never driven one of those air-conditioned buses, and when I retire in 5 years, I'll still have never driven one of those. They don't work at the right garage.
So your retirement is 5 years, so you got a while to go.
Yeah. It's going to seem like forever.
Bus been busy today at all?
Yeah, it was pretty busy. I had a full standing load during rush hour.
School students and everything.
Yep.
We might just ride around with you. I like the bus better than the LRT. You run into so many drunks on there. It's unbelievable.
Into what?
You run into so many drunks on there.
Yeah.
So that's why I stay on the bus now and just ride around. I take a train every now and again. Like if I have to get from station to station. We'll just stay on. It's just you never know the train that we get. We might run into it, and I'm in no mood for that. So you'll have us for a while. Someone to talk to.
Well, that means that I have to drive decently then. Or else I'll tip you over.
Oh, you talk about tipping over. Try driving one of these shuttle buses, eh? They're jerky. I almost took a spill on one, eh? It's a very bad design. Because you have the wheelchair ramp, right? But where you park the wheelchair, you're on a hill, like a slope.
Shuttle with a wheelchair in it, so
yeah. But I mean, these 77s won't retire for a while. It's just that they stop making parts, that's it, right? Because I've seen a couple break down every now and again.
Well, even the brand new bus will break down.
Yeah. More than these Flyers, right? When did the crowd start to settle down?
About 5 for me.
Yeah. They start taking the trains out of service around 5:30, like the 4 cars. What time you going home tonight?
8:20.
Yeah.
And I work from 12:40 to 8:20.
So that's all a day.
Yeah, I don't eat breakfast, so I don't like to work on a full stomach. So by the time I get home tonight, I'm pretty hungry.
That's like me when I went to school. I could not eat when I first get up in the morning. I never was like that. Maybe have a snack when I get to school. You must be so hungry then by the time you're home.
Well, I only eat them one time, once a day. Thank you.
Yeah.
I get home and I eat, and then I don't eat again until I get home the next night.
Just your schedule, right? I guess you're used to it, right?
Yeah.
So that full standing load, you must have close to 50 people in here at one time.
Yeah. There was one time when way back when all we had was those old GMs. With this
Oh, the Jimmies, right? Yeah.
I was fairly junior guy, and I was on the spare board, and I had to do during Stampede. I was a floater, and basically, when they need somebody, they just call you, and you're sitting somewhere, and they say, go here, go there, or whatever. So anyway, they wanted me to do an express from Stampede Park to up north, because they schedule them, and the last one leaves at whatever time it was, 12:30 or whatever. But these people don't think, that are going to ride on it. Oh, the last one is at 12:30. They don't think that 400 people are going to show up for it.
But I mean, that's when the park when Stampede Park closes at like 12 a.m., right?
Well, that's why we had so many floaters out there, so that we can accommodate. So anyway, I get there. They call me and tell me to do it. So I show up. A couple of other buses did too, but there's so many people. So anyway, there's a supervisor. He says, get as many people on here as you can. And I said, well, 2 to a seat and then standing. He goes, no, get 3 to a seat. He had people sitting on bars in between seats. It was just ridiculous. So I said, this is dangerous.
And what if you have to brake suddenly really hard at the light?
I told him that he had to give me a supervisor number because in case, I had tire blowouts or something happened, that I wasn't the one that overloaded the bus. So he did. Of course, nothing happened, but it was pretty. There was about 120 people on it.
And them Jimmies, right, were good buses, thank God. But I mean, they were. When did you do this?
What's that?
When was this? Like when you first?
Like early 90s.
So they were still brand new, the Jimmies, eh? Some of them.
Well, by the time I started, I think the last one they had bought was about 89.
Yeah.
And so I barely knew some of them. But then again, I was driving some that were made in the 60s. Because back then, a bus had a life of about 30 to 35 years.
Yeah.
And then they could revamp it if they wanted. So when I started, I was driving buses that were almost as old as I was. Or actually, there were some that were older.
The 500 series and stuff like that.
Those were bad buses.
They were new Flyers. Yeah.
Oh, they were terrible. We called them bread boxes. They were very difficult to drive.
Were they new Flyers too, right?
No, they didn't call them new Flyers. They just called them Flyers.
Yeah.
And then when they changed the design to these low floors, they started calling them new Flyers.
Yeah, they're retiring these because, once the new buses come in, I guess a 77 goes up. But if you can get more life out of them, why not keep them around still, right?
This bus is perfectly fine. This bus was made in 2002.
Yeah. They have a couple 78s that are 02s as well. So you have what? Lucky I wasn't on that bus. I wasn't even born then, I'm just saying. With 120 people?
Yeah. Well, they had like 50 seats, something like that, 50 or 52 seats.
Yeah.
And then you could get a whole bunch standing. So if you had a full standing load cramming them right to the window, you'd probably get about 80, 90 people on it. But this guy, he wanted more than that.
They should have had accordions back then, but you didn't, eh? Them
Well,
articulate.
they existed. It's just that Calgary didn't have any back then. But they were more used in the U.S. than up here.
We're staying on. You got a break here coming up?
Not really.
Just a quick maybe drop off and boot her again.
Well, I might have a couple of minutes, but that's about it. Jerry, when this COVID thing started, they took time out of this route. Because after, there was no school and people were staying at home from work. And
How many buses were running at a time on this route before that?
I don't know, it was every 15 minutes or something. But they took time out. But then this September, when the kids went back to school, now the parents don't have to stay at home, they can go to work, blah, blah, blah. They didn't put the time back in.
When
So I
they
have
There's a 77 went by.
I'm going to have to call scheduling and tell them they have to put that time back in it. Because during the day, I don't have a lot of time on this. You get like 4 or 5 minutes late, you're 4 or 5 minutes late for like 3 or 4 hours.
And then you know what? And then you're have to go right away, no break.
Well, driving around late.